Good morning from the French Alps. It's the week before the Etape. Suddenly things are a lot chillier in the Alps. It's only a balmy 15 degrees this morning, hence the arm warmers for the first time in 4 weeks. I'm rolling down to the start of the JPP event from Cluses. Bit of a leg test for me. I'm only doing this short one. It's only 65 k's, less than 2,000 meters of climbing, but as I say, it's a fitness test week before the Etape, and thankfully it's a lot cooler. Here we are at the start. There's about 300 riders, so it's a bit of a scramble to get to the front of the bunch, and I managed to nearly fall off just after the flag drops. The rider in front of me here was struggling to get a foot in, and I managed to hit a back wheel. Thankfully the guy on the right steadied me before I toppled over. So it took a little bit of effort just to work my way back up to the car that was leading the bunch here. This is the neutralised section, would you believe. We're banging along at about 40 kilometres an hour. During the early part of summer there's one of these events every weekend, and whilst it's determined as a cycle sportif, it is an all-out race, prizes for winning. This is the first climb and I'd lost touch with the front group, and there's always one that doesn't get any style points and then tries to knock you off. Now on the descent of the climb in the middle of the profile, that's the Col de la Ramas in the middle in the distance there. I'd lost touch with this group on the climb, but I was working hard to get back to them as there's a long steady descent now back round to Cluses. It took some effort, but eventually I got there. Through these islands, this guy in front of me was opening big gaps, so I had to push on past him to make life a little bit easier. We're actually on the Etape course now. We're just on the outskirts of Saint-Joie and heading in the direction of the Ramas, but we come off the course just around this next corner. The route then took us up a Flanders-esque style climb of about 12% before we joined the bottom of the Col de Columbia, down into Sioncier and back round the outskirts of Cluses. Needless to say, I got dropped again on the short sharp climb, but managed to catch them back up on the descent here. Through the centre of Cluses and then round onto the final climb of the Côte des Arèches and up to Le Carroz. It's a 10k climb up to the finish. This is the climb where Thor Hushoff secured the Green Points jersey in the 2009 Tour de France. Past the 1k to go banner and up to the finishing line. 35th on the day. I was 8th in the age group, so a great test of the legs a week before the Etape. That's a very quick look at events outside the Etape du Tour that we have in the Alps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Cycling in the Alps.